What I think we're speaking of right now is self-awareness. And I think part of getting out of a rut is self-awareness. See what I was saying in the beginning when I said we got to talk about aliens? This is why we had to talk about aliens first.
I don't think a deep rut has anything to do with aliens.
Clean up your mind.
Ooh.
All those little tasks things that are like hanging on your brain that'll take 2 seconds to do, just do them.
Welcome to the Alyssa and Julian Podcast.
I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Julian. And this is the Alyssa and Julian Podcast.
Oh my God, I have another voice with You're not just hearing things
I feel
today.
like I haven't done this in like a month.
I know. I was really excited sitting down. And I was like, are you ready? Like I'm excited.
Wow. What are your intentions for the week?
So my intentions this week are it's funny because I just posted a video. Go check it out if you haven't already. Today cleaning, but I did like more like this side of the apartment. So I have to do like that side. So I have cleaning.
Oh.
I have to do a lot of cleaning. Like laundry and like all that stuff.
Oh, we love that.
I
Add
have
mine to the list.
so much to do. Anyways, I have to plan. I have gotten really bad with planning podcast episodes. That's so bad. But
I mean, in your defense, though, you never know when I'm going to be here when I'm not.
I mean, that's true. But I want to have them planned in case you are. Like, I want to have them planned in both cases. I want to have a plan of episodes with you. And then if we get to another point where, like, we have to do another solo one, like, I have my episodes planned.
Good point.
You know what I'm saying? So that way, like, I'm ready either way. And then I just want to record more. Like, I've been really liking vlogs. Like, it's so much fun.
I hear that.
So that's part of my planning too. I have to plan for like this and for mine. So that way I have maybe days. Cause like I usually know my days off. So maybe I could like plan some stuff. I don't know.
I would say you always
know.
know your days off ahead of time,
Right.
like two to 3 weeks at a time.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So if I know like, oh, I'm probably going to be off this day, like what could I do? And especially then it's 2 weeks ahead. Like I have so much time to plan.
Yeah.
So I think I need to just like, I don't know, maybe even if it's once a week, just have like a little time block. Maybe on like a day off when I put JJ down for a nap, I'll just like sit and work. Work, baby. What are your intentions?
Mine is, I guess, kind of similar to planning. I've been going through this course where I'm learning about video editing, but to learn more about video editing, you need stuff to edit. So I want to, while I'm in this course, post 1 video a week and 1 short. And while I'm in there, I need to make sure I'm filming. So I need to come up with a video idea to film. Like you said, for that one day I decide to take off during the week, I need to have something to film. And I've been so distracted on like, what's the big idea that I'm missing some of the smaller things I could do. And I need to find like for the next couple weeks at least, because I have a big idea coming at the end of August. I feel like a bigger idea. Which I already have solid. That's going to be fine, but I need something, in the weeks leading up to that to make sure I'm posting consistently. Oh. And because I want to have a very consistent summer. Like that's my goal. I want to have a very consistent summer. I want to really grow my channel this summer, like a lot.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
So my intention of the week is to come up with video ideas for me to have so I can consistently post 1 short and 1 long form a week.
Yes. A week? Oh, shoot.
Yeah. It's a grind, but I think I could do it. And, I might sacrifice a tiny bit in quality. Like it might not be a big, but I feel like if I throw a few smaller videos out and then a home run video, like every now and then, I feel like, people won't be too upset at that because I'm still posting, but it's just.
Yeah, I feel. Oh.
I don't know. You guys tell me what you think in the comments on that one.
Streaming platform, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music,
Google Podcast.
Yeah. Anywhere you stream your platforms. Check us out on YouTube if you want to watch this. Alyssa and Julian Podcast. I feel like I got like really loud, but like.
You did.
I'm just really excited.
Guess what?
What?
Aliens exist.
Anyways, today's topic. Today's topic is going to be either, I don't really know how you want to word it, how to get yourself out of a rut, tips on getting yourself out of a rut.
Okay, but can we
what
talk
you
about
do.
aliens for a second before we get into this?
Do we have
Because,
to?
yes, because I feel like this podcast episode is going to be really deep, and we need to break the ice a little bit before we go
I
into
don't think it's gonna be that deep, but if
little
you want
bit.
to talk about aliens, we
Just-
can talk about
let-
aliens
let's
for
just-
a hot minute.
Let's just talk about aliens for a second. Seriously. What if aliens are real?
You trying to tell me you're an alien? Is that why we're getting
No. I'm not an alien. I mean, I wonder what it would be like to be an alien. I just watched Secret Invasion, and the premise of Secret Invasion is that aliens are taking over the U.S. government and honestly over the world. And you could be talking to me. I could be an alien, and you have no idea. So, what if aliens are real? And what if not artificial, but like alien intelligence is a thing? What if there's a more intelligent species than us that's out there?
What if there's not? It sound like the Debbie Downer.
Right.
Maybe there's not.
But like,
No, but like, I feel like they were talking about aliens when the whole Area 51 or
Area 51 got
91,
confirmed. It's
whatever.
legit, bro. It
Whatever
got
that
confirmed
area
during
was.
COVID.
A lot probably got confirmed during COVID. No one had better use of their time.
Yeah, but
during
no one
COVID.
cared. No one cared. It got confirmed and no one
But
cared.
the whole Area 51 was a huge thing for weeks, honestly. And then I feel like it kind of was like, on the back burner a little bit. It still was a thing, not as popular.
There's
now
a
all of a sudden,
guy-
aliens are having a comeback. I promise this is not today's episode.
There's a guy testifying under oath about his time working for the
Where's he
government.
from?
I don't know. That's the
If you
thing.
say Florida, I'm not going to be surprised. I feel like that's been the
So
Florida
you don't
thing
believe
lately.
aliens are real?
I mean, I never really thought about it, so I guess I'd say no.
You don't think so?
No.
I think it's
I don't
possible.
know. I never really had like my alien thought time.
I think it's possible, but what's scary about that is like, where does that like bring us next? Like okay, so
I don't know if I wanna know.
Here's the thing, right? Aliens
It's
might
going to be like an hour and a half episode because we're going to spend
no.
45 minutes
Give me.
talking about
I'm gonna say this
aliens.
one point, and I want everyone to think about this. I'm gonna say this one point, and then I'm gonna
Oh.
end it. In the comic books, there's two people who exist. There's one world where it's the Avengers, and then there's another world where there's the Justice League. So what if aliens are real and we don't have the Avengers or the Justice League? We are just screwed, bro. Like it's just a wrap. Better hope they friendly.
Bro, what?
Why are you? Why?
Imagine being. You ever see that SpongeBob episode where he has like a bunch of little SpongeBobs inside his brain? Imagine
Yeah.
having a bunch of little Julians inside of Julian's brain. They would be running around just like that.
Alien apocalypse! Alien apocalypse!
There's like a fire burning down
You
the office.
forgot his name. What's his name? Yeah,
We sound like we're crazy.
but that's what happened in the episode. You forgot his
Well,
name.
that's what I'm saying. All the little running around SpongeBob's, it's going to be all the little running around Julians in a fire trying to find one little piece of paper. So I don't know.
That'd
but
be me when I'm trying to figure out how to do something while I'm editing. You forgot how to cut. All right. Anyway.
anyways, so
On to the topic.
I feel like this topic hits me really hard because I've kind of, I don't know, been in like a weird, I don't even want to say like a work rut. I've been in a whole life existing rut. That sounds kind of deep, but it's true. Anyways, so today we're going to talk about kind of what we do to get ourselves out of a rut, tips, tricks, hacks. I don't know. Do you get in ruts a lot? I feel like you're more of a creator than I am. Like I said, I'm not even in like I'm
It
kind of in a
depends on
creator
what
rut, but
It depends on what you're talking about. Like, I get writer's block. Like right now, it's hard for me to come up with video ideas, and that's that. To really wake up and say, "Hey, I don't feel like picking up the camera today." No, not really. I mean, my ruts. When I get into a rut, like if I'm in, it's because something is wrong in my life, and
I mean, I think we're just talking about ruts in general. So
well, I feel like there's levels to ruts though.
okay.
Because there's some ruts where it's like, I don't want to exist. But then there's also other ruts where it's just like, yeah, I don't feel like doing that today. So
fair.
like, those are like, you know, the different levels. Sometimes I get in ruts with certain things where I'm like, yeah, I don't feel like doing this today. Like, I feel like I have ebbs and flows in life on things that I really like to do and, you know, things that I want to do, want to learn. And I've learned to just not fight myself on that so much with those ebbs and flows, because that's how I get into bigger ruts. Because if I'm like, let's say like, for example, I want to learn the piano, right? I haven't touched it in like a week and a half. I'm not going to be hard on myself and be like, dang, I haven't touched that in a week and a half. Do you really want to learn piano? Like, no, I've really gotten to the point now that I'm like, when you feel like touching it, touch it. You know what I mean?
I feel like a lot of people get in those, like that situation specifically where they know they want to do something, but they haven't done it either yet or in a while. And all of a sudden, like it's either yourself or other people being like, well, then do you really want to do that? Like, do you think you really have to do that? And it's like, you'll get to it. You don't have like the time for literally everything in life. Like, it's understandable, but that's a fair statement to like, know that you'll get to it when you really want to get to it. Like when it's your time to do that.
Well, the main thing I've done that with, actually, surprising enough, is video editing. I don't force myself to edit when I don't want to. I don't.
Probably a good thing.
Yeah, 100%. It makes the final product so much better. There are times where I'm like, I don't really feel like doing this, but I do have a deadline I'm trying to get to, but I'll start making cuts here and there. Like I won't do any creative work on the edit if I don't feel like editing. Like I'll do that like mundane work. I'm like, I really don't feel like editing today.
You kind of just do like a rough cut.
I'll do like my rough cut stuff, but then by the time I finish my rough cut, I then get excited about editing.
I mean, maybe you just need that little like push to do it.
So that's kind of what I was talking about. Are we giving tips on how to get out of it now? Yeah. So what I would say is start small. A lot of times, like if we're talking about like ruts with certain things, like if you're like, I don't really want to go to school today or something like that, like start by getting dressed. Take it one thing at a time. Start by getting dressed, and then eat your breakfast.
Your outfit can make the day. You get ready, and all of a sudden you're like, let's go.
Literally. So like take it one thing at a time. Start by getting ready. Start by eating your breakfast. Then go get on the bus. And then by the time you get on the bus, your friends are there and you're all good. You know what I mean? If you're talking about homework, again, start by writing your name. Write your name on the paper. And then you're already sitting there writing. You're like, I might as well just do it. And a lot of times for me, when I'm like, I don't feel like doing something, if I start that one part, this goes right up into like dishes. If I start that one little part, or if I'm like, just gonna rinse this out so I can eat off, and I'm like, no, I'm just gonna clean the whole sink out. Like it starts like that for me, and I just go on like a whole. Next, I'm cleaning the whole like kitchen and apartments. Like it literally rolls like that because it's a compounding thing. And once you get in a cycle, you get really excited about something, or you start pushing yourself to do something, you're gonna hit a whole new level, and you're like, oh shoot, I just did all that. Like, what happened?
All of a sudden, you'll be like, well, that didn't take any time at all, and you'll be done in a minute. That same thing happens to me. Especially lately, it's been editing. Before like my, so to speak, comeback, I didn't have a problem like filming a video. Filming is always the fun part. I actually didn't like editing, especially if it was a sit down video. Like I don't want to say the patience. I don't like what's it called?
Attention span.
Yeah, that is the size of a peanut. Like I'm the dog in Up. That's like that. Squirrel.
Favorite line in the movie.
Literally me. So sitting down to record a video, I used to get like so distracted, or I would start and like I wouldn't get in that zone. I feel like because I was talking so down on it, and I was like, no, like I can't sit here and do this. I can't do this, blah, blah, blah. And then eventually would just get up and be like, okay, I'll get back. And then lately it's been the opposite. Like I'll think it's more of I don't want to do this right now because I know I'm going to be up all night doing it. But then I start doing it and we get in that situation where it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, all right, I think I'm going to give it a break now and I'll finish the rest tomorrow. I can honestly say that was not the case before. When I got to the point of having to edit my video, I actually I don't want to say hated. Hate's a strong word. I despised it. I really was like, I don't.
There were literally videos on her channel that I was like, I need this off my computer. I'm editing it and I'm rendering it, and you can post it.
They sat there for so long.
Like literally, like her whole labor and delivery video. I edited that.
I started. But I literally got to the point where I was like, dude, I can't.
The Dunkin' Donuts video on her channel.
My
Yeah, I
taste
edited
test.
that.
Oh my God. That's where you found your new favorite, like, refresher.
I look back at some of those edits, man. I'm like, if I only knew what I know now. I just look at a lot of
the Dunkin' one probably would have been dope.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't touch that one at all. He had told me he did the labor and delivery one, and I was like, whoa, like dope. I started that one, but I was like, dude, I can't sit and do it. But then I didn't even know he did the Dunkin' one. The Dunkin' was like a surprise one. So basically I had 2 videos I could have uploaded, and like I was like, wow, I could upload these, and I barely did any of the work.
Wow, that must be nice.
But no, lately all my videos, Julian helps me with like little effects. For the most part, but I actually edit my videos now, and I've actually started to really enjoy it. So just start it and you'll get it done. Don't know how promising that is, because literally when you talked about the homework thing, I was like, no.
I'm telling you,
That's how I was in school. So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, some people are saying here like, yeah, no, it didn't work for me.
I also think setting deadlines for yourself is important, because a lot of times if I set a deadline, like I said before, I won't feel like editing something, but I'll be like, no, I have to at least do this part of it and break up the work, like splitting up the work. I have to do this part today, this part tomorrow.
That's a good one.
And then boom, the day before the deadline, I'll do this. And then the day of the deadline, I'll be like, all right, I'm just going to go over it and see if it looks good. And that's kind of how I get through it.
See, it's funny that you said set deadlines, because one of the things I had written down for like tips, tricks, whatever you want to call it, was set up routines.
I'm not good at routines. I would
See,
never.
I feel like I want
can't.
want more
You
routines.
should have a routine, but I will never give the advice to set up a routine, because I don't have a routine at all.
I don't have one either, but like I want routines. I feel like I'm more of like, I'm better with structure almost, but I feel like that's also me in my comfort zone. Like knowing
Yeah.
I have like little things set up
Well,
makes me like comfortable. I have structure. Like having like random things thrown at you during the day, or like, you know, you have to do this in a week, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden someone's like, hey, I need this, or you have to do this by this time. Like, no, that's going to set me off. I'm going to be so thrown off. I don't like it. It's going to make me uncomfortable. All that. I feel like I want more routines, because like I just said with the whole planning thing, I feel like it gives me a time that I know of that I can do a lot of this, because I feel right now I never know what my day is going to consist of. And I feel like if I had routines and structure, I can set it up a little better and do a little better during the day, if that makes sense. So I don't know. I feel like set routines, you'll know, oh, when you come home from school, okay, you do a snack, you watch TV, you do homework, you have dinner. Like, I don't know, like, but. I wish I had that. Like, I wish I made that for myself. Or like when I come home from work, I know I have to like, okay, do this. Okay, we have to eat dinner. We have to record, upload, shower, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know. Like I feel more structure in my life.
yeah, no, that would actually make me anxious. So
I
I think
need
we're
that.
speaking
We're
of right now,
opposites.
what I think we're speaking of right now is self-awareness. And I think part of getting out of a rut is self-awareness and identifying why you're in a rut.
I feel like half the time too, I want to sit and do work. Like, I don't know, I'm more of like a planner person, so I need to be in my planners. And I feel like I need that time to like sit and work, but I never know when that time is or can be. So that's also why. But that goes into my planning. Planning could help you get yourself out of a rut too.
Well, yeah,
Because I feel like that starts to put you on the track, like on a good track.
I guess so. I think like planning kind of goes into what I was saying before too, about like splitting up the work. If you plan it, you set your deadline, you could split up the work.
Yeah.
A lot of it though, like honestly, at the core heart of it, a lot of getting out of a rut just takes action. Like you can sit, you can plan, you can talk about it, you can tell people like, hey, this is how I'm feeling, so I'm in a rut. But like nothing's gonna change unless you do first. And that is the important part. Like if you sit around and you just say, all right, I'm in a rut, I'm just gonna stay in it, like you're gonna stay in it, like, and you might not even want to stay in it. But if you just sit around, like I promise you nothing's gonna change. And that's the hard part. Like forcing yourself to say, okay, I'm in this rut, but what can I do today to maybe move me ahead of it 2 days later, 3 days later, 4 days later. And being okay with like, all right, I'm in a rut today, but I don't have to be tomorrow if I just take simple actions is key.
I was just going to say the whole thing of being in a rut and all this stuff. I feel like you don't want to stay in that rut. Like he just said, I feel like a lot of times though, sometimes one of the most important things you can actually do is take the break for yourself, get yourself back and kind of, like he said, like, okay, so take the break today. Today we'll not stay here, but we'll take that time. Maybe you're sitting and planning little stuff. You're not going crazy, but like the next day you get back into action. You get back into whatever you have to do to get yourself out of whatever rut you're in. I don't know. I feel like some people overlook the take a break aspect, but sometimes that's like, maybe it's your brain telling you you need this, like you need just today to rest, recoup. Tomorrow your brain will spark that little plug that was off, that little switch that was off. I don't know. And you'll start to realize like little things you could do to get yourself back into that motion almost. I feel like another thing that's kind of helpful is to either just go for a walk, like go for a walk,
say step away,
clear your head. Maybe you'll start thinking of things you either needed or you didn't know you needed type of thing. Or I feel my thing sometimes is working in a different environment. You're home all the time. You're in the same space all the time. You feel yourself getting into a rut. If nothing's working, you can't get out of it, blah, blah, blah. Go work somewhere else. Go to the library where you know it's quiet. You're in a different space, but you're still like, you can hear yourself think almost. Go to the coffee shop. Go to, I don't know, a little park to just sit on the sidewalk and like, or not a sidewalk, like a bench, work. I don't know. I feel like my thing is I feel like I need to work in a different space sometimes. Being home, I'm always like, nope, because I either get distracted by other things I'm doing or supposed to be doing, or I don't have to do this right now, but I'm gonna because I'm here. I don't know. I feel like a different environment kind of sparks different ideas or something. And sometimes you need it.
I laugh because I have one thing that changes me, man. I could be in like the worst mood. I could be like not wanting to edit or not wanting to work. But you know what I always make sure I do before I edit?
What?
I always make sure I eat something before I edit.
Oh, that's a good
like,
one.
Getting out of a rut, a lot of times, like go eat something. Like I'm telling you, like your brain, you're not you when you're hungry. It's so real. No, seriously, like it is so real that like you need to like take a break, eat some food. I'll put on, while I'm eating, I'll put on YouTube. I'll put on something that's probably going to inspire me, someone who's going to make me want to edit. I'm really like big on that. I don't know why, but like I always find something. Or if I'm like, oh, my brain is overstimulated, I'm working it too hard, I'll put on something that's going to relax me a little bit more, something that's a little more mindless. You know, I'll give you some examples. If I want to inspire myself to get ready to edit, I might watch like a Kelly Wacasa video.
Oh, I had that on my list too.
Yeah, I'll watch like I don't know, maybe Casey or you know, something like that. But if I want to, you know, free my mind or something, like maybe I'll watch one of the AMP videos, cut videos, or I'll watch New Rockstars break down like one of the Marvel shows I watch. And that's another thing, maybe I'll just watch a Marvel show itself to like, because like lately Secret Invasion's kind of been like that thing that I've kind of stepped away from things with. But now because I'm learning more, like it's still watching filmmaking, still watching stuff, so I'm still also like learning while I'm watching it. Yeah. So it's a mess. It is a mess. I can't really escape it anymore.
Sometimes it gets you motivated.
And that's it too. Like I will draw motivation from things that I might not have before. Like the other night I stayed up to like 2 a.m. watching Free Guy. I had never seen the movie before, but I stayed up till 2 a.m. and I was extremely inspired by it.
Yeah, I fell asleep.
Yeah, I was extremely inspired by this movie. And I don't know, it was just so interesting. It's such a fun take on filmmaking and a weird spin on the world we have today and the way gaming's going. And I don't know, I loved it.
Really?
Yeah, I loved it.
It didn't look like that bad of a movie. It was just so late and I was so tired. I was like,
I was literally up till like 2.
And it was already 1 something or almost 1 when we started. So I was like, but that was another night where I was like, I gotta stop the editing and laid out for a minute. But I feel like a lot of the problem too for, I don't know, you might not notice this is what it is, which also goes back to my intentions of the whole cleaning, like this side of the apartment. Clean up your space. A lot of people, I hear a lot of YouTubers say it all the time. They can't concentrate or work or do a lot of like what they need to do if their space is messy. I feel like, I don't know, it's weird to say I don't fully clean. Like I don't clean to where it's like spotless. I'll clean like a space a little bit. Like if I sit here, like I might make sure like this is clean. So if I'm sitting here, it's fine. But I feel like, I don't know, I need to do like more deep clean and I'll be so much better. I'll feel so much better. Might get a lot done. Maybe like that's the space I need, like just like cleaner space, like in the bedroom or something will be like my new space to work in. Clean your space and I guarantee you'll feel more motivated.
I've been telling her this for forever.
To get things done. Anyways.
This is the messy person over here. I'm like, yeah, that would be kind of nice. Oh, no. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I definitely, like, I know I need to. That's the problem.
On to cleaning, though. Clean up
I think that's literally, like, everything that I had in my list. And, like, oh, my God. It makes me, like, just talking about it now makes me want to go, like, do it.
Clean up your mind.
Ooh.
All those little tasks things that are, like, hanging on your brain that'll take 2 seconds to do. Just do them.
Take the walk. Write it down.
No, not even that. I'm saying like if it's on your mind to like mail something, throw the stamp on it and mail it. It's not that hard. Like people let a lot of things just linger on their brain that are 2-second tasks that should you should just get them done because why have this thing like linger on your mind? Like why let it take your mental energy? Like your energy is important and you only have a finite amount. So if something's been lingering on you, have a finite amount, like tiny.
Never heard that before.
It's the opposite of infinite. Finite. Infinite is
what?
Finite is
what?
Yeah. Finite is limited. Infinite is unlimited. Anyway.
Oh my
so
God.
You have a finite amount of energy and you need to use it wisely and appropriately. So that, thing that you need to clean out that you've been wanting to do, just do it.
I feel like
just wipe that thing quick and call it a day.
I feel like that you also need to do it in that moment because then again, okay, you're putting it off. It's lingering in your mind, but you're also putting off the task physically. So then you get to the point where like it needs to get done. So now you have a whole day that you need to get this, and this done. And you feel like your to-do list is a whole page mile long. And now you're setting up more during your day. So now you're going through your day stressed and all this stuff, and it's just making it worse from whatever you were already feeling or in or whatever. I know that's happened to me a bunch of times, and I tell you, like, it's the worst feeling ever.
Make a to-do list tomorrow.
I love to do
or today, but just make this list of all those little tiny things that you've been putting off in your mind, and just start checking them off one by one as you do them.
Not in my head and like nose bump the mic. But
T-Rex
yes,
Alyssa
I agree.
over here. So yeah, start with that.
I love to-do lists. To-do lists are one of my favorite things in the whole world.
Ooh, I haven't sat here in so long, man. This is crazy. I'm over here stretching. Yeah, and I mean, I again, I really do believe that the person, it's different for every person. So who we're talking to like matters, and what you do to get out of the rut is different for everyone. But I do believe that everyone should clear their mind. I think that having all these things lingering on your head is not good.
I feel like
schedule it.
Ooh, that's a good one too. You have to like utilize your sources almost. I feel like a lot of things, that's why I feel like that's why I like to-do lists, because it's also off my mind, and then I like to keep it in a space where I can get to, like if I leave it on my desk or maybe it's on the table, on the fridge, I don't know, leave it somewhere where you'll see it and be able to like go to it and be like, okay, what's next? It doesn't necessarily have to be a to-do list for that day. It could be like your to-do list like for the week. You can schedule it out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday if you really wanted to, or just make the whole list, and as you're going through your days, okay, I did this. Okay, yeah, that's tomorrow.
So-
okay, I did this.
For what I'm talking about to work, though, you have to schedule it, because the whole point of writing it down and putting it on this paper isn't so you just have it there, because it'll still bother you. Our brain works differently. When we schedule something to get done at a certain time, our brain marks it as completed.
Okay.
So you have to make sure that you give it a specific day. I would even give it a time where, like, I'm going to do this Friday at 1:00. Boom. It's off your mind. It's done. And now you can work on other things.
I don't know if I can go that deep. I feel like knowing how much I have at a certain time would make me more anxious.
I think you should try it, because I'm telling you, when you do that, like if you schedule it for a week out, I'm telling you, it will.
Wait, what are we talking about here?
For those little things on your mind.
I feel like I don't really know when I have like free time, which is why that kind of stresses me out in the moment. And I feel like if I time it for a certain day and then I get to the day and I have to work around that stuff,
Then
I don't
you
know. I
reschedule.
feel like it makes me anxious.
Then you reschedule it.
I feel like I would actually like having the list that I could look at and like check off when I do it, and knowing, okay, I could do this, but this next one has to be done tomorrow. Like I don't have like the time, say you like have to go somewhere and they're closed. Okay, I do it tomorrow. And I feel like I would just go down the list, check off what I can, probably do like the smaller stuff first just to get them done. Save the little stuff for either later in the day, the next day. I don't know. Just
I'll be honest with you.
The schedule like makes me nervous.
I'll be honest with you. I don't do that because I just do them.
Okay.
But what I'm saying
so you don't
is,
make the list. You just kind of mentally make a list.
No. I've made the list.
Oh, okay.
I make the to-do list for the day. But I just know it's all getting done that day. What I'm saying is, if you know your time is limited that day, you have to schedule it. This is what I read in a book, by the way. This is like scientific experts, like brain experts saying this.
Changes the game.
Yeah. So like you schedule it to get it to the point where your brain's like, okay, this is done. And then, I see what you're saying though, if you overload that day, but if you reschedule it, your brain will still see it as, okay, that's fine. Like I'll just reschedule it to that. Okay. And it kind of like, if you keep rescheduling, it'll kind of go to that process. But at the same time, you're keeping it off your mind.
I mean, yeah, if it's out on paper, I feel like it takes a lot.
Well, it's not even so much of being out on paper.
Mental stress. That's just my biggest thing.
It's not so much of it being on paper either. It's just really the fact that like I've already made time for this thing. So like I don't have to think about it anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like my big thing is getting it off the mind, because then it leaves more space to like think of other stuff. I don't know. Mine is like a mentality, like, I don't know, if I have it on paper, it frees my mind a little bit and makes me like a little less stressed and a little maybe more calmer. I don't know.
I could see it. What about a deep rut? What would you say for like if you feel like you're just living a rut?
I don't know. That can get really deep. So
see what I was saying in the beginning when I said we got to talk about aliens? This is why we had to talk about aliens first.
I don't think a deep rut has anything to do with aliens.
It doesn't. Like it just is deep.
Anyways, I feel like living in a deep rut is, I don't know, it's one of those things where like sometimes you actually have to just feel the emotion of it. I don't know. It's so weird to explain. You kind of have to just, it's one of those things where it's that night. You have to just kind of sit there, feel the emotion, kind of let yourself go through it, because letting yourself go through it sometimes, as weird as it sounds, gets you out of it. Because I know if you sit there and you're letting yourself go through it, I want to say at some point, hopefully you're going to get better and you're going to feel that moment where you're like, I don't want to feel like this anymore. And that's going to flick the switch to that night. You're going to chill, relax, lay low, go to bed. The next morning, game changer. That's the hopes. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen.
I don't know if it'll exactly go that route. I don't want y'all thinking like, oh yeah, this road will be over tomorrow. Like, listen.
No, it doesn't happen like that, unfortunately.
Here's the thing. Wow, the way I see ruts, right? Emotions are like a clue. Emotions are clues into how we're feeling and what's going on in our lives. So if you're feeling sad, right, it's time to dig deep and identify why. and start to really process like, okay, I feel sad. What's actually going on with me? And then that takes some real like soul searching and deeper conversations with yourself and some self-love time. So that could be walks, that could be journaling, anything like that, where you're just figuring out like what is actually happening. The biggest thing, one of my biggest things, prayer, man. Like a lot of that is prayer because, and if you're not a Christian, you don't have to pray. Like I get it, but there's still things you can do. And a lot of times it comes down to figuring out what that, issue is, and it's kind of dominoing into other issues. So when you figure out what that one big issue is, you can start building the dominoes kind of back up in reverse order to get to that big issue. And then boom. Oh, sorry, I'm smacking y'all. But boom, you're good, and it may not happen overnight. It may not work out where it happens overnight. Sometimes you might just have a bad day. Like bad days happen. But if you are in a rut and you've been in one for a while, if you start going back and rebuilding those building blocks kind of slowly, by, maybe a couple months or so, like you'll be in a great place mentally, physically, emotionally, all because you took the time to really self-diagnose and really talk to yourself. Meditation is good. Visualizing. Oh, I love to visualize. Visualizing is so awesome. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what is a dream and what's real. So when you sit there and you visualize yourself in a happier place with all the things you want in life, all the things you want to earn, achieve, when you visualize yourself there, your brain doesn't know the difference. Your brain sees this stuff. If you can imagine it, your brain sees it and your brain's going to make it happen. So try that stuff, man. Like I'm telling you, it's game changer and you will automatically be in a happy mood. The last thing I'm going to say is gratitude. You cannot be sad and grateful at the same time. It's not possible. So get a gratitude journal. I haven't written in mine in a while. I know. It's probably while I was in a rut last month. Anyway, write in your gratitude journal. Write out your things you're grateful for and stay grateful as much as possible. Like literally wake up and be grateful for as much as you can. Just spend like 5 minutes doing it. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Just take that time and I promise you will have a better outlook on life. Because honestly, a lot of times those ruts come down to our outlook on them and how we perceive the world to be happening around us.
It's actually really deep.
I told you. I tried to tell you.
That's crazy.
I
would 110,000% agree on the whole walk and journaling thing. That's why I said walk in part of my list for getting out of ruts, just kind of in general. I feel like you might not want to go for the walk. That's kind of maybe another thing. You kind of have to like push yourself, get your shoes on. I don't know, maybe a cute workout outfit, even though you don't really work out, you just have the outfit, because that would be me. And like get yourself outside. And I feel like once you step outside, it's either the fresh air, the scenery, I don't know, just something that's going to just free your mind for that minute on the walk. You're not focused on everything you're thinking of or everything you have to do. You're focused on whatever you're passing by or wherever you're kind of walking to. You're thinking of different things in the moment that just kind of relieves your stress a little bit. So walks are definitely beneficial. And I feel like summertime walks, like walks at night during the summer, especially if there's like a good scenic route you can take, kind of changes the game. I've noticed. I've been on a couple, and it's really nice. Like it's a little cooler. You're not really sweating as bad during the summertime heat during the day. You have a nice little view to look at, who you're walking with, even if it's, I don't know. I've done it with people. I've done it with JJ. I've done it with Julian. Like your people make a game changer. What you're listening to, pop in that podcast, YouTube video.
I like to walk listening to something.
That's what I'm saying. So something you're listening to can change the game. But say you don't want to go on that walk. You kind of can't force yourself to get up. Pick up the journal. Like you want to just sit on the couch, journal right there. You want to lay in bed, journal right there. You don't even need a journal. Your phone, notes app. I I haven't really journaled in the notes app, but I write a lot of things down in the notes. I've journaled in Notion. I haven't used Notion in so long. They have a little journal thing you can set up in there. You could probably even download some type of
you could find prompts
free
online.
Free journal, the prompts. I don't know, something like it. It's another thing that just kind of relieves your stress in the moment. It's another thing of it's down on paper, so it frees your mind a little bit. It makes you feel a lot better. I feel like my thing with journaling is it's weird to say, I would write down, like I would journal more, write down probably more than what I would say to a person, if that makes sense. I don't know. I feel like you just start.
A lot of people are like that.
You start writing and then you notice as you're writing more thoughts that come to mind. So you'd write that down and you're like, oh, if I was talking to someone, like, I don't know if that would come up or something. So you realize you're getting a lot more out, which makes you feel a lot better.
I also recommend drives. I haven't done that in a while because I drive too much. But they used to be therapeutic when I wasn't driving a lot.
Really funny.
Sorry, therapeutic. When I wasn't driving a lot, they used to be therapeutic. Now driving is kind of like,
I have to get in the car again.
yeah. So like, I will say though, like if I have to go on a drive for myself, like those times where I've driven to like New York or I've driven by myself, like I love those drives. Driving, blasting some music or listening to a podcast. Even when I'm working, like if I'm listening to a podcast while I'm doing it, I like to listen to YouTube videos. I like to listen to things that inspire me and make me better. Like as I'm doing that, I think that we all just need to have a real sense of commitment to ourselves and bettering ourselves. And I think that right there is key. If you're spending, time working on you and working on trying to be better, it's hard to let any room for a rut to be in. Like it's very hard. And those times where I didn't feel like I was working on something or getting better in any way, those are when the ruts creep in. At least for me. Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, sorry.
We both just sat there for a minute, like, whoa.
I know. I didn't mean to hurt any feelings. I hope I didn't. I hope I didn't like attack anybody.
Just hitting us.
No, I hope I didn't attack anybody. For real, just really let yourself feel, but also don't be afraid to spend some time alone and work on yourself. It's so important.
Like that's what I need. I need the more spend your time with yourself type situations.
Alyssa doesn't like to do anything by herself.
I don't.
She didn't even make bacon by herself this morning.
We're not going to talk about that. Anyways, that's kind of all I have.
What's the question of the week?
Oh, okay. I was going to see if you had anything else.
Oh, my bad.
Jump the gun over here.
Well, you said that's all you had.
My question is kind of what we've been talking about. My question of the week is I want to see what you guys do to get out of a rut. I want to see if it's something we said or if there's something different out there that I've never thought of, never heard of, like that type of situation.
What was the last thing you did to get out of a rut?
Honestly, you want to know what was a game changer for me?
What was a game changer for you?
It's really weird.
Okay, I'm scared now.
I put it on Threads. Threads has been my new diary if you want to follow me. It's a little deep in there, but Threads has actually been my way of getting out of a rut.
I can't recommend that. I can't recommend that.
I'm going to recommend it.
I can't recommend that. I can't. In good faith, I cannot recommend.
What is the thing? Like on Twitter, you tweet. What's the thing on Threads?
You post. But
it's just a post?
Yes, it's just a post, but I cannot recommend that.
What?
Because.
Recommend what?
Recommend using Threads as your diary. Because it's the internet. People can use that stuff against you.
Do it. That's low. Like if you're going to use it against me, like if you're going to use my thoughts against me, I probably already used it. I probably already used it against myself. What you're saying. I probably already did that. So you're probably just late to the game. You have to be
careful what you say on the internet.
I mean, obviously, I'm not like putting anything.
Yeah, but the way you said,
if I'm gonna put my thoughts out, like,
okay,
you can't use it against me. They're my own thoughts. I already battled it in my head. Anyways, I put out the other day that I hadn't had a coffee in a really long time, and then I had a coffee.
Wow, who got you a coffee?
You did.
Wow.
And it was a game changer.
I read your thread.
It was a game changer for me. I don't know what it was, but like something sparked, flipped, switched.
Did you see what I just
switched.
did there?
No, I wasn't listening.
I said, I guess I read your thread.
Oh, maybe you did.
Which is what I mean why Threads is a bad idea.
That doesn't sound like a bad idea to me.
Because it's about the coffee this time. It's about the coffee.
Anyways, I had one, and now like ever since then, I don't want to say like I'm like it got me completely out of the rut. I wish it did, but it was one of those moments where like I hadn't had in a while. Kind of made me happy, kind of got me into a better mood. So the better mood got me thinking of like, I don't really want to feel like this anymore. I don't really want to do this anymore. I need to like get myself out of it. And it was kind of like a slow mental process, I guess I would say. But I would say I have been in a rut recently and I wish I did more journaling. I will say that. Or gone on a walk. One of those things. I wish I did more of that because I feel like I sat too long just kind of in my own head, thoughts, that type of situation. I kind of wish I did more to help myself, but we're slowly getting there.
I'm disappointed in myself.
Why?
I forgot to mention something so key in my life.
You can say it now.
I forgot to mention it. Well, because this is how I got out of my last rut.
Oh, so it works into this conversation.
It does. Talk about it. Literally vocalize that you need help. Like, that is something I will always do unapologetically. I will like, especially if someone's leaning on you and they're like putting too much pressure on or requesting too much or asking for a lot. I will literally always vocalize like, yo, this is too much. I'm one person. Like, I used to not be that guy and I used to just try to take on the world and do it all. No, if it's a lot and you're asking a lot of me that I'm not sure I can handle, like, don't think that I don't like to put pressure on myself because no one can put more pressure on me than I can. But when I feel like it's a lot and like it's, kind of hitting me hard all the way around, I will not be afraid to say, yo, chill out, like relax, or I'll help you, but you got to help me out too. Like, and that's kind of like what I've been really focused on lately is just vocalizing that fact of like, hey, especially now because, I'm a dad now. I'm like, I can't look at the baby and be like, hey, help me put your clothes on. Like, it don't work like that. Or, hey, help me feed you. Like, it doesn't. Soon it will. But right like, now, he's not there yet. Time. Yeah, he's not there yet. So like, for right now, I need a little bit more help than like what I would need in a couple of years or even a few years ago. So I've been definitely really vocal about that.
That's a good one too.
And that helped me get out of my last rut by being vocal. My mom sent me like a 50 pack, a box of 150 diapers and like another 100 and something wipes, all because I was vocal and said, yo, I need some help.
Yeah, I was kind of in that too. I was more of like a more financial side. So my mom got some food to have in the house for JJ, which is kind of helpful because it makes it easier for Julian to eat before they go out for work and all this stuff. So yeah, it's little things. Sometimes.
Asking for help is key. Do you have anything else?
Fair point. No, that's it.
All right, guys. Well, we hope this episode was helpful.
I hope you enjoyed.
Did
us back together again?
I mean, if you want me to stay off, like, just let me know because
my episodes are always weird. I feel like people don't like them. Then I don't know how to end it, and it's always awkward. And I'm like, bye.
Well, because I just do this. Well, guys, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you comment below. Make sure you leave a 5-star review on any platform you're listening on. And come over to YouTube and
like, subscribe, leave a comment here too.
Yeah, but we're out here. Keep grinding, keep chasing your dreams. Remember, nothing without comes easy. We're out, man.
Peace.